Rusty Quill presents.
Welcome to Ain't Slayed Nobody. This is an actual play podcast intended for adults, and may contain material that some people find disturbing. Please see the episode notes for content warnings, and listen with care. Hey y'all, this is Cup reminding you that we are on Patreon. We just completed our long-running World War II Cthulhu series, The Meat Trade, with Scott Dorward, so that is all ready for you to binge. We're also doing early drops of all of our improv videos and our Cosmic Dark campaign with Graham Walmsley. That's amazing, so don't miss out. This is a great community, and we'd love for you to join. Most of all, you're helping to support our show. You can sign up right now at patreon.com/ain'tslayed. That's patreon.com/ain'tslayed. Thank you.
Did you know that foreign investors are quietly funding lawsuits in American courts through a practice called third-party litigation funding? Shadowy overseas funders are paying to sue American companies in our courts, and they don't pay a dime in U.S. taxes if there is an award or settlement. They profit tax-free from our legal system, while U.S. companies are tied up in court, and American families pay the price, to the tune of $5,000 a year. But there is a solution. A new proposal before Congress would close this loophole and ensure these foreign investors pay taxes, just like the actual plaintiffs have to. It's a common sense move that discourages frivolous and abusive lawsuits and redirects resources back into American jobs, innovation, and growth. Only President Trump and congressional Republicans can deliver this win for America and hold these foreign investors accountable. Contact your lawmakers today and demand they take a stand to end foreign-funded litigation abuse.
It's James and Fuhad from Shits and Gigs podcast, and we're here to talk about Boost Mobile, the newest 5G network in the country.
With compelling deals for new lines, Boost Mobile makes it easy to switch today.
Boost Mobile's new network delivers customers the speed and service they'd expect from the big three, plus groundbreaking benefits you'd only get from a true challenger in the industry.
These include letting people try the network risk-free for 30 days and offering a $25 per month unlimited plan that's guaranteed to never go up in price. They have blazing fast 5G and plans for all the latest devices. Visit your nearest Boost Mobile store and find us online at boostmobile.com.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
Avoiding your unfinished home projects because you're not sure where to start? Thumbtack knows home so you don't have to. Don't know the difference between matte paint finish and satin? Or what that clunking sound from your dryer is? With Thumbtack, you don't have to be a home pro. You just have to hire one. You can hire top-rated pros, see price estimates, and read reviews all on the app. Download today.
Out here, it's not only the amazing views, but the way time stretches out a little longer. How laughter bellows louder among friends, and how the breeze hits just right at the summit. With All Trails, you can discover and experience the best of nature, with over 450,000 trails worldwide and navigation right at your fingertips. Find your outside with All Trails. Download the free app today and find your next outdoor adventure.
This is a mini meditation guided by Bombas. Repeat after me. I'm comfy. I'm cozy. I have 0 blisters on my toes. And that's because I wear Bombas, the softest socks, underwear, and t-shirts that give back. 1 purchased equals 1 donated. Now go to bombas.com/ACAST and use code ACAST for 20% off your first purchase. That's BOMBAS.com/ACAST and use code ACAST at checkout.
I would lose my mind for you. I don't have a lot to lose. I would cover up the truth if it made no sense to you. I'm a mess, but I'm with you. I'm a mess, but I'm with
You pull open the door, and you see a blood-splattered surgery room.
I don't want to be here anymore. Let me go home.
I know, don't look at the books.
Sand roll.
I got a success. I'm okay with this.
Okay, so you're just going to lose 2 points of sand.
Okay.
And behind you, this teenage girl is now standing. She's been staying away from all of you for obvious reasons. And she's kind of swaying a little bit. And she's staring at the wall.
She's got a bomb.
And she's reaching out a hand saying, I don't want to look at it. I don't want to look at it. Don't make me look at it. And Dr. Vishi's head pops up. Is it there, dear? What is it? Don't make me look at it. Don't make me look at it.
Can I join Pastor Blake? And I want to snatch the notes out of the hand of the doctor.
Yes.
And I want to see what she's been writing.
Okay, give me a dex roll.
Yes, success.
So you pull the clipboard away, and she just looks up at you and tuts. That's not very nice. And she starts writing in the air.
Huh.
Oh, God.
She's returned her attention to the teenage girl who is staring at the wall and starting to cry.
Can I have a look at what she's written so far?
So it looks to be written in some kind of symbolic script.
As a doctor who is used to writing terribly, can I translate this?
It's a language you don't recognize. It looks to be like symbols.
Darn it.
Can I hold one of the Bibles up to it so that she writes on it so we can all look at it for a second? It's next to my face.
All right. I like that idea. That's fun. So you hold the Bible up. You see her writing this same script.
Doctor, I did not want to have to do this. I did not want to go to such extreme measures. I am reporting this to Faculty Senate. As you know, they will draft a resolution to reprimand you unofficially.
She looks up and raises an eyebrow. She's still writing. Now she's writing with both hands. She pulls a pen out of her pocket. She's writing with both hands simultaneously, different lines.
Oh, brilliant. Louis Wayne did that.
And yes. And she says, "Oh, thank you, reviewer 2."
She's fine. She's fine.
She looks at you and goes, "Second author."
She's just responding to reviewer comments. It all makes sense.
Can I give the clipboard to Professor C?
Okay. Give me an edu roll, so that's your intelligence.
Okay. I think I closed out my character sheet.
Oh my God, Cup.
In frustration. Here we go.
In frustration.
Oh my God.
I rolled a 1. What?
Oh, wow.
He rolled a critical.
I invented this language.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yes.
So this is Sanskrit.
Okay. Yes, Sanskrit. Can I actually read it, though?
With a critical 1. You can't read the whole thing because you don't have language Sanskrit.
Right.
But with the critical 1, you do pick up words because you remember having to translate a few things in your most recent study that you were doing.
Who moves my occult?
Yes. The first thing that you pick up, a word that seems to be kind of similar to maybe doctor.
Okay, yes.
You also get phonetic spellings of names in here. So there's your name, Xavier.
Oh.
And Jimenez. Like, it's all phonetic, right? Because there wouldn't be symbols for names.
Why did they use my first name? It's a complete lack of respect.
Yeah, it's a little weird. You're the only one of the 4 titled people in here who get the first name.
It's so rude.
You get the symbols for death, and then you get symbols that look like retry, try again. You're not quite sure. But with the 1, the next part seems to refer to you.
My God, it says wolf.
And it says, is that chant or spell or ritual? It could be any, depending on the context. You can't read the whole sentence.
Yes.
And then you get the word remember or memory.
Oh, do I think it's actually there? Like, is this going to jar my memory?
It might, because it seems to be a question. The way it's phrased, even if you can't read the whole thing, it appears to be a question. And so I would like a power roll from you.
Okay. Gather round. I think I'm kind of like trying to get their attention. This pertains to all of you. I failed my power roll.
Mm-hmm.
Would you like to push the roll?
Push the roll.
Push the roll.
I'll push it because I have 50.
Yes.
I think to push it, I'm going to start reading aloud to see if anything like
push
jars my memory.
The roll.
Oh, I have a hard success.
Oh.
Ooh. Fantastic. So you start saying these words aloud wherever you can remember what these little symbols mean.
Yes.
And it is jogging your memory. That bit of memory that you had blocked off after that traumatic event in the library. It's almost like the wall is dissolving. That barrier that your brain put up to protect you. This hum in the back of your head were just a few words. Ah, that's right. That's what it was. And you've got the full flow.
Good.
That's that piece of the rhythm there. Oh, yep, that word goes there. And you start to remember as you're humming this to yourself. The rest of you just kind of hear the professor. His eyes are closed now. He's holding this clipboard. And he's gone from reading out a few words to now he's humming something. He's not saying the words, but he is humming some kind of chant or tune. You're not really sure. And Professor, you remember being in the library. And you were in the restricted section with your assistant Z.
Yes.
You were researching. That's right. You were researching Mesopotamian vengeance spirits. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And you found this old scroll. Really old. Covered in dust. Looked like no one had touched it for years. And you started reading it. You know, because of dead languages and things, you like to sort of sound things out.
Yes.
And you found yourself reading this kind of chant out loud. You tried to stop, but you couldn't. And this power kind of filled you. Just this glow almost in your chest, and you just felt so much rage. At that moment, Z came over and they put a stack of books on the table for you that you'd asked for, but that noise it sent reverberations through your skull, and you got so angry, and you looked up, and then everything went kind of black for you, Professor. And when you came to, there were pieces of him everywhere. Just bits and pieces. And the blood on your hands. You did that with the words that are now running through your brain.
Yeah, I'm going to keep that part to myself.
Yeah. But I think that's a sand roll for you.
Yes.
As you realize what you did.
Yeah. I have passed my 5th sand roll in a row or something like that.
So I will reduce the sand loss. Okay, so you're only going to lose 1 point. You kind of suspected this whole time that you killed them?
Sure. I had a hypothesis.
This is just confirmation, right? And hey, you got the chant back now. And you can take 2 more points of Cthulhu Mythos.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to relay parts of what I learned to the team up until the point where I was with the assistant in the library. So I want them to know all of your names they're in what she was writing. And it says something about death, and I think she's brought us here to kill us.
Dr. Vichy looks up at you, and she's writing still with both hands in the air.
Yeah.
And she looks at you. Do you remember, Xavier?
I'm not answering you. She's trying to hurt us.
You remember.
Lieutenant.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, it's working. Oh, I knew this
No.
therapy session would have some good in it. Oh, you remember. That's wonderful.
Shoot her in the face, Lieutenant. What are you waiting for?
The lieutenant does draw down on the doctor and says, he said that you're going to try to kill us and you think that's wonderful? What's wonderful about that?
No. I'm not trying to kill you. He remembers.
What does he remember? You tell me.
Professor C, why don't you give us a demonstration? Oh, this is lovely.
No, you know what it does. You know.
I don't. That's the point. I don't.
You know what I'm capable of.
Oh, we know what you did, yes, but show us. Oh, I would love to see it in action.
Would Professor C feel like he can direct this at a person? Because he was only with one other person at the time this happened.
You think maybe you can?
That's risky.
Because this time you'd be saying the chant of your own free will, right?
Yeah.
Instead of muttering it.
I'm going to hold on to it for now. I'm not doing that. No, there's too much blood already. Let us out of here. This is absurd.
I'm not keeping you in here.
I'm going to go on Rate My Professor, and I'm going to make a bunch of phony accounts, and I'm going to leave you the shittiest reviews.
That is autobiographical.
Oh, you wound me, Xavier. I am so hurt. She just goes back to writing.
This is not therapy. This is torture.
Your name was in there, Dr. Jimenez. She's going to kill you. She's going to kill all of us.
And across the room, the teenage girl has now touched the wall, and she's tilted her head to the side. She says, I'm not going to be me anymore.
Huh?
I'm sorry. I can't help it. And Dr. Vichy is now looking at her very intently. She seems kind of bored or disinterested in you now, Xavier. And
that's out of character. Wait, before you die, what's your name?
While she's looking away, just as an aside, the pastor is over by the table with the coffee and the tea.
Mm-hmm.
He is crushing up a bunch of pills into a napkin and making a cup of tea.
Attaboy.
And dumping it in there.
Okay.
In my inventory, I have a bottle of prescription pills.
You do.
And I mean a lot of them.
So you start crushing up the pills, and this girl just kind of tilts her head, and her one shoulder goes up, and she touches the wall, and Dr. Vichy says, oh, it'll be fine. I don't want to, it does so many bad things. Don't look in the mirror. But her hand makes contact with the wall, and her head lolls back further than you'd think a human neck could go. And you start to see her body sort of half rising into the air with her arms outstretched, and her head is lolling back, and the long dark hair is draping down towards the floor. And you start to see her back begin to split.
Oh no.
And these long, ragged, black, leathery wings extend from her spine out, and she starts screaming.
Fun.
I have no diagnosis for that.
Are we rolling sand?
Yep, you all see this. Give me a sand roll. And you hear Samantha, the old lady, screaming, "The devil is here! The devil is here! He is among us!"
I succeeded mine.
I got a hard success. The doctor is just hardcore.
Oh my god, I got an extreme success.
Wow.
Ooh.
We're all just super chill about this.
Xavier, with the extreme, you're not going to lose any. The rest of you lose one.
Wow.
Right.
Huh, look at that. I think Professor C is so, obsessed with the chant that he's not even processing.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I've lost a fifth.
Ooh.
Okay, so you're going to go into an automatic bout of madness.
Yay! Well, this is clearly a biological imperfection. She's obviously going through some kind of mutation. So the best thing to do is probably to remove the mutated tissue.
Yes.
So I'm going to try and remove her wings.
That'll go well.
That's great.
Fantastic. So you pull out your scalpel, you wipe the blood from Bobby on your shirt, and you go up and you are going to try and slash at her wings.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, so give me a fighting brawl roll. And as you go up to slash at her wings, you see her fingers have these long talons extending from them.
I just sort of wave my scalpel at her. Like,
you don't have the luck to spend.
Yeah. Like, in my mind, I'm really calm and I'm like, no, this is all wrong. I, as a doctor, can deal with this. I'm going to diagnose everyone and I'm going to fix everyone. But on the outside, I'm just flailing wildly.
You think you can fix it? I mean, you fixed Michaela, didn't you?
Totally fixed Michaela. Yes. 100%.
And the baby. You definitely fixed them. You can fix this. And so you go towards her with the scalpel. The wings are now extending out 4-5 feet. They're massive, these hideous black leather with rips in them, and you see what looks like this ooze coming out of these little claws on the end of the wings. Her head has lolled all the way back. A human neck should not be able to do that. And as you go to slash at the wings with your scalpel, her eyes open, and she looks at you from this upside down position, and her eyes are red. Whatever this thing is says, not so fast. Hungry. And Dr. Vichy says, oh, that's interesting.
Lieutenant?
She's going to slash at you with the talon. She got an extreme.
Oh, no.
I'm dead. Probably.
Not necessarily. So she's going to do damage plus damage. That's going to be 11 points of damage.
Oh, shit.
I'm in -2 health.
Okay.
Is that bad? Or is that good?
I'm dead.
You all see these eyes pop open, this upside down girl bat creature, and you see Jimenez try to cut across the wing, but miss just as the girl's hand twists back and this long talon slashes across Jimenez's throat. And Jimenez collapses to the ground, eyes rolling back in her skull, and blood pouring all over the ground.
I was going to refer you.
At this point, I'm not going to make you roll sanity for seeing death. You've already seen one.
Oh.
Unless you'd like to roll sanity, in which case I am not going to stop you.
I don't know. This is a human.
I'm going to roll sanity.
That we talked to.
I failed.
Okay.
Yeah, I failed.
All right. I'm sure I'll get an extreme success here in a moment.
Oh, you did, you fucker.
I did. Extreme success.
Oh my God.
Okay, I'm convinced you have like a game genie for roll 20.
Right. But the professor, is so focused on his chant in his brain. He's trying to figure out if he can direct it at someone that he didn't even notice Dr. Jimenez die.
Yes.
But Lieutenant, you lose 2.
Okay.
And Pastor, you lose 4.
Good news. I've lost 1/5 of my sanity.
Great.
Fantastic.
The truth is that he's always been a bit of a shill and never really believed in any of this.
No.
Nuh-uh.
And so he's going to really embrace the fact that it is not his religion that saves or that does miraculous things for his crowd, but him.
Mm-hmm.
And so I am now convinced that I'm the only one who can save us from this thing.
Wonderful.
And so I'm going to go ahead and take just a little sip of that drink that I made because it's probably not of much use, just a little to take the edge off. I'm going to pull that Bible out and I am going to run at that creature and say, the power of I compel you. And I'm going to try and shove the Bible down its throat and choke it to death.
So let's start with Lieutenant Novak.
I was going to fire off as many rounds as possible into the head of this thing. Yeah, I've got a 45 auto.
You're firing 3 times. That's as much as you can get off in this go. So your first one, you're going to get a bonus die because you're point blank range. Your second one will be normal, and your third one will have 1 penalty die.
All right, so I get 1, which is a success, 2.
That's a success.
And then 3.
Your third one misses, but your first 2 hit. So you're going to roll your damage twice.
Ooh.
Wow.
Okay, so that's 19 points of damage.
Beautiful.
Cinematically, you fire off 3 shots. The third one goes into the wall over her, but that's because you managed to shoot through the wing, the right wing on your first shot, and she starts tumbling, and your second shot goes straight through her skull. And this happens just as the pastor yells, "The power of I compel you," and he touches her with his Bible just as her head explodes from the bullet. And she crumples to the ground in a pile of blood and brains and some weird black ooze next to Dr. Jimenez. And Dr. Vichy looks up and goes, "Oh, that's a shame. So much potential there. Well, at least we know what it was." And she goes back to writing. And I think a sand roll for you, Professor, at this point.
Dr. Jimenez should have used a gun, I think.
Except she didn't have one.
Is she dead?
Yeah, she's dead.
I'm very dead. Yes, I'm super dead.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled extreme success again.
Oh my god. Cup.
I don't know. It's crazy.
You're cheating.
That's 3 extremes in a row on sanity, though. That's nuts.
Yes.
Okay. You're a bit baffled by all of this, Professor, but it's not the most important thing in the world to you, is it? Not really.
I wonder if the chant exploded that thing. Huh.
Lieutenant and Pastor, you can both give me POW rolls.
Fail.
Okay.
I also failed.
Okay, so you both feel the weird kind of uncomfortable tickle feeling on the back of your neck, but nothing happens. You can't quite figure it out. Maybe you're just uncomfortable.
Now, Doctor, we've had quite a bit of, I'd say I'd call it a kerfuffle if I would.
That's what Dr. Jimenez would have called it.
A kerfuffle.
Could I perhaps offer you, I think we all need to calm down a bit. Can I offer you a cup of tea?
Give me a hard persuade roll.
Yes.
You can do this.
Oh, no, I can't. I only have a tea.
Oh, you can't do this.
No. How much luck you got?
Do you want to spend 25 luck?
I absolutely want to spend 25 luck. Yeah. So I'm down to 34 luck, but I'm going to luck that into a hard success.
Okay.
And I'm going to give her my cup of extremely drugged up tea.
And she says, "Well, that's very kind of you, Pastor. Why don't you tell us about what you're dealing with?" She just says casually as she takes a sip.
I love how she's continuing therapy where there were 2 bleeding corpses on the floor.
And the pastor's going to kind of glance over his shoulder at the creature and then his Bible that is now covered in bat guts. I have to be honest with you, I'm feeling a bit better now than I did when I came in.
See? Therapy, it works. I knew this would be experimental, but it seems to be going quite well. And she makes some more notes as she sips the tea with one hand.
Can I pull out my Nokia phone and try to call for emergency services?
You have a Nokia, of course.
Nokia and Jordashes.
Yeah, my picture on the university website is from the 1980s as well.
It's got like one of those graphic backgrounds with like the color stripes.
Yes.
You're wearing a velour suit. Yeah, you pull out your phone. No bars.
I don't seem to be getting a signal. I'm actually going to try the library. I think this is so shitty that I'm going to go to the library through the door.
Okay, so you open the door, and it's a church.
I think I got your door, Pastor.
Do I see the same thing he sees?
If you look out the door, you see that it's a set of pews.
Does it look like my church by any chance?
It looks like your auditorium, yeah.
And I'm just going to say, Well, praise the Lord. I'd say we found ourselves a safe space.
Finally.
I'm going to grab the professor and sort of shove him through the door with myself.
So you're taking him with you?
Yes.
Okay. So you grab the professor and drag him through the door with you, and Samantha, the old lady with the walker, is slowly coming up behind you going, praise Jesus. Her face is splattered with blood and ooze and ichor from...
Come on, sister. We ain't gonna wait for you.
And Levi, the young man who has just been curled up in a corner, wide-eyed, staring, is now muttering, I'll take the fish people over this any day. And he bolts through the door. Dr. Vichy says, oh, if that's what we're doing. And she stands up. Lieutenant, are you going outside or are you staying in the...
Oh, I'm going. Yeah, fuck this.
She sees you go through the door and says, well, it's about time. And she goes through the door.
Oh, no.
Leaving the dead bodies, including Dr. Jimenez, and the blood.
Oh.
I feel like I'm in a better situation than some of you guys are.
Out of character for a minute, Kat, would you like to play Samantha?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so you're now an elderly lady who is obsessed with demons and Satan and...
As she walks through the door, she becomes British.
I love it. That's perfect.
That's her bout of madness.
Oh shit, this is how I've been sounding the whole time.
Is it possible to close the door before the doctor can come through?
You can give it a go, so let's have a dex off.
Okay. I got a success.
She got a hard success with a 28.
What does that look like?
Right? You grab the handle intending to slam it, and just as you go to slam it, she steps through and she's looking around. Oh, this is nice. A little gaudy for my taste, but is this yours, Pastor?
Yes, ma'am. This is the Church of the Living Waters Luxor Casino in the great state of Nevada.
Oh Lord, I've only ever seen this on TV.
That's excellent.
Even his Lord Christ is covered in gold.
Dr. Vichy just looks around and says, well, good, we'll get something out of this at least. And she sits herself down on a pew, and she starts writing again.
I'm wondering how much you're going to let me decide what is the nature of this church.
It's your church.
He is originally from the Deep South, as indicated by his accent.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously fairly conservative. So he makes a big show of walking around, just pointing out the grand things in his church. There's a lot of gold, like gold paint, but, you know, it's very... very glitzy, and he's pointing out all of the wonderful things and the very weirdly ultra modernistic looking cross with the LED lights behind it and everything. But he's making his way over to the altar, where he does have a gun strapped under the altar because you cannot be safe enough.
All right, so give me a luck roll to see if it's there.
Okay.
Yes.
Nice. 32 under 34. So yeah, your gun is there, and you pull it out. What's your gun's name?
It's actually Shelley. He named it after his wife in a weirdly sweet move, because they have a terrible, terrible marriage and they hate one another.
But she just had such a great pun for a gun that you had to do it.
So you pull out the gun, and Dr. Vichy's looking around, and Levi just says, man, out of all the places I gotta go, it gotta be church.
Can I swat him around the back of the head?
Yes. You just slap him upside the back of the head.
You youth today do not appreciate the gospel of the Lord.
So I'd like to see if I can slip that gun into my jacket pocket.
Give me a stealth roll.
Oh, you got 50 in that?
Yeah.
He slips things out of the offering plate.
But I still failed.
And you failed?
Okay.
I'm going to have to burn 12 luck to make that work. We're getting low on that luck.
Oh, no.
Dr. Vichy says, well, any moment now, Pastor.
Any moment is what? And he's walking over towards her.
As he walks over towards her, she turns her head to look at the door that comes into this auditorium from the entrance outside, the vestibule sort of area, and it suddenly feels very warm in here.
Oh, no.
Very, very warm.
When was the last time you paid to fix the AC, Pastor?
Son, we are wired directly into the HVA system of the Great Luxor Casino here in Las Vegas, Nevada. They must be having problems.
If she looks to the door to the outside, she might see Professor C trying to sneak around the wall to get out of this fucking place.
The walls by the door starts to feel very hot. Very hot.
Did you ever see Backdraft?
Don't open the door.
Don't open that door.
I saw someone get killed by a biblically accurate angel a minute ago, so I think I'm still going for it.
So give me a luck roll, Professor.
Okay, I have a little bit of that. 88 fail.
Oh, yeah, you finally fucking failed something.
You suddenly feel like your back is on fire, and it's because it is.
Okay.
As you pull away, this wall is burning as the doors to the sanctuary burn down, and there's just this gout of flame, and your clothes are on fire. And you're going to take 2 points of damage from burns. The flame starts burning through your coat, your shirt, everything, and singeing your hair.
Okay, I'm going to stop, drop, and roll.
Okay. Stop, drop, and roll. I'll let you put out the fire that way, but it's burning hot, and the fire is now blazing. All of you can see this.
Fire! Fire! Ah!
How much do you want to lift, Professor? And Lieutenant Novak pulls his gun out.
What the fuck?
Oh no, it's the Mohicans ending.
We need to play the music.
We can't go full Mohicans without the music.
Yeah, I think I'm like rolling toward the door. So you said the door itself was on fire.
Yes.
So there's no clear exit that's not on fire.
Unless you want to go through the fire. I mean, there's the door at the end of the sanctuary near the pulpit, which is probably what goes to the pastor's office, or maybe towards the baptismal. You're not sure, but it's on the other side of the room.
Can I roll sand for the wall lighting me on fire?
I'm never going to tell you no to a sand roll, Cup.
I just want another extreme success.
It would be okay, just a hard
success.
But I'm going to take 1 point of sand from you for that.
Okay, because I asked.
Yes.
The pastor just starts reciting the Lord's Prayer, and he's still walking, but he's got his eyes closed. And then as he nears the end of the prayer, he's going to try and just embrace the doctor. Just give her a hug.
Okay.
Is she cool with that? I don't know.
Yeah, she doesn't do it. She's still writing. It's fascinating.
Okay.
You notice that drug tea you gave her does not seem to have done anything.
Okay.
Glad you spent all your luck on that.
Right. He's going to open his eyes and see all of that fire that reminds him of some things that happened recently. And he's going to sort of pull his dress shirt open and just touch this huge, fresh burn mark that's across half of his chest. He's going to hug her really tight, and he's going to say, Amen, and he's going to shoot himself through his head, through her head.
Oh,
yes!
Yes! So cool! Oh, I love this. Okay. So here's the thing. You would normally get a bonus die for this because point blank range, but you would also get a penalty because you have a phobia of fire. And with your phobia being in the room, so they cancel each other out. So you're just going to make me a normal firearms roll.
Okay. Which is not a thing I'm good at, just so we're all clear. Oh, that's a super fail.
So you're still going to do damage to yourself.
Of course.
Sure.
So roll me 1d10 plus 2. So you're so bad at shooting yourself.
I only did 3 damage to myself.
Oh my god.
Wait, when that happens, I want to do that and actually get hit by the bullet and then just sort of look back, look at the gun what the fuck?
Fucking Shelly.
So here's the thing.
You did say she kind of sucks.
Yeah.
your hand is shaking because you drank a little bit of that tea with the Percocet in it. So your hand isn't quite steady, and you end up just kind of grazing yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Because just as you pull the trigger, your hand pulls, so that it's now angled away from you, and you just sort of graze yourself. You're bleeding now. You're still alive, and it really sucks.
Which way did the bullet go?
Into the wall.
Okay.
Into the Jumbotron.
The rest of you just hear a gunshot go off, and you see the pastor kind of staggering with just a little trickle of blood down his face. And Dr. Vichy looks up at you and goes, "Oh, come now, pastor. Face your fears."
What's going on?
So, Lieutenant, you had your gun out.
Yeah, so I whip around and I have the gun pointed at the doctor now. And I ask the pastor, like, "Pastor, are you okay?"
Why are you asking him? He's the one who tried to shoot me.
Tried to shoot you? He's got blood down his face. Now you are the one creating all this bullshit.
She's the devil.
I'm not creating anything.
There's fire on the wall. There was a dragon person with angel wings. There's a dead doctor in the other room. This door creates portals to hell. Who's creating it?
And Samantha has a British accent.
What the hell happened?
So, as you say that, you're pointing this at Dr. Vichy, who's just continuing to take notes. She has not stopped writing this entire time. A fiery tentacle lashes out of the flames into the room. And I'm going to roll to see who. Okay, so essentially, it grabs at Levi, and he does not dodge out of the way as this fiery tentacle wraps around him as he tries to run. He starts screaming, but he pushes you out of the way, Samantha. A light push, and you fall slightly, holding onto your walker, but you're out of the way as this tentacle grabs him. And he's screaming in pain and terror, and it pulls him into the flames.
Novak holsters the gun.
Okay.
Novak calmly walks over to the doctor and says, "Oh, you're not making it happen, huh?" And attempts to grab the doctor by the lapel and walk her over to the fire.
Okay. Give me a strength roll.
Okay.
She got a hard.
That's a success.
Do you want to spend it down to a hard?
I am spending 18 luck.
Okay. So you grab her by the shoulder, and she says, "Now, really, Lieutenant, it's not your turn yet."
Oh, God.
It feels like my turn right now, and I'm going to keep dragging her over to the fire.
Okay. You drag her over to the fire.
Uh-huh.
And she's looking at it going, well, I suspected it might be. Yes. Fascinating.
Oh, is it fascinating? It's going to burn. It's going to be pretty fucking fascinating. Puts her in the flame.
Okay, she's standing there in the fire, writing.
Uh...
And you see just like her clothes start burning away, and she's still writing. It's wonderful. I never actually thought I'd see something like this. And you see these tentacles kind of flailing around her, and she looks at it. It looks like she starts sketching one of them.
She's the devil.
Can we roll sand? I'm just like...
Yes. I think this is a sand roll for anybody who sees this.
What's my sanity for Samantha?
Your sanity's 40.
Okay.
Well, she had 45, but she's lost a good bit.
Oh, I have finally failed a sand roll.
Finally.
I failed.
I succeeded. I'm in this.
Okay, so you lose 1. Wes?
Fine. I'm in a bout of madness now.
Fantastic. We'll get to you in a second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Cup, you lose 2.
Ooh.
Pastor Blake, you lose 3. And Samantha, you lose 4.
So does that like put me back in a bout of madness? I forget how it works.
Yep. So we've got 2 simultaneous bouts of madness happening.
Everybody has magically turned into my unit except for the doctor. The doctor is the bone monster. I am going to go into hero mode and yell out to everybody, "It's okay, I got it this time," and wrap up the doctor and back myself into the fire.
Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
Okay. So, Pastor, what's your bout of madness?
I feel like I've done a lot of really crazy things at this point. I'm running out of ideas.
Okay, so here we go. This one will be fun. Pastor, you have amnesia.
Okay.
You are back in the last place you felt safe.
Branson, Missouri.
Cracker Barrel.
You don't know who these people are. You don't know where you are or why any of this is happening. You don't remember anything for the last however long it was.
Okay.
Would he recognize his church, though?
Yeah, he'd recognize his church if that's where he feels safe.
Oh, yeah, he absolutely feels safe in his church.
Mm-hmm.
For sure.
You're back in your church. This is before the whole thing with the affair and all of that and the burn. But your church is on fire, and that's distressing. But you don't know why it's on fire, and who are these people?
Now, what in the name of Jesus fucking Christ, this place is on fire! Somebody call the Las Vegas Fire Department! Get me the Luxor on the phone!
Wait. I need Samantha's reaction to you saying Jesus fucking Christ.
Samantha basically pops like a cap off of part of her walker and pulls out a fan and starts fanning herself.
And he looks at her and says, who the fuck are you people?
And as you say that, the lieutenant jumps onto Dr. Vichy, whose flesh is now melting away.
Would you say she's turning into a Vichy swab?
So, Lieutenant, you grab her and drag her back into the flames.
Uh-huh.
But in your mind, you're dragging her into the desert, and that's why it's so hot, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And so you're grabbing onto this bone monster, and it's clicking and clacking, and all this noise, it's rattling. And she says, "Oh, but I do so wanted to know what was your issue, young man. It was just such a fascinating..." And all you hear is...
Uh-huh.
as you drag her backwards, and a fire tentacle is going to lash out at you.
Cool.
Are you going to dodge it?
I don't know if I'm like cognizant enough to see that coming. I feel like I'm pulling the doctor.
Well, it misses you. It just lashes out past you, and you just keep dragging her further into the flames. You can now see, and to anyone who's looking into the fire, you see there's probably 20 different tentacles of flame, but they shift in colors a little bit. They get darker than fire should be, then they get lighter, and there's this kind of bulbous mass behind them. But what you see, Lieutenant, is sand.
Oh, good.
And a tumbleweed rolling past you as you drag the bone monster.
You're gonna go as far away from my unit as possible, you hear me, you freak of nature? I'm done with your bullshit, and I'm gonna keep dragging.
Okay. What do the rest of you do?
How far away do they look to the rest of us?
He's now on fire.
Mm-hmm.
You can see his uniform is going up in flames, but he doesn't seem to notice that he's on fire. And they're now through the doors into this gout of flame, and you can see the tentacles rising up and around them.
A bulbous mass and tentacles. It's like Pornhub.
Can I smack the professor? How dare you, young man? I think I'm going to start hobbling my way up onto the altar so that I can pray.
Okay. So, Samantha, you go up to the altar and you kneel and you start praying very piously and very loudly.
Mm-hmm. Very loudly.
At this point, Lieutenant, multiple tentacles wrap around you. I'm not going to roll for them because you are so close to all of them.
I'm so fucking dead.
Yeah, and you burst into flames, and this time you can't ignore, your brain cannot ignore the fact that you are on fire and your flesh is beginning to melt. And you see Dr. Vichy's flesh has all melted away, and she's just a skeleton, still writing in the air.
I like how Rina had the tentacle attack the lieutenant, gave us all a whole round to help him, and then nobody even considered it.
Nah.
Nobody fucking helped me.
So you take 28 points of damage.
No, I'm dead then.
You start screaming as you suddenly realize you're not in the desert and you're on fire and these tentacles are burning through you. And the skeleton is just standing there and shaking its head and as it's still writing with its bony fingers. The fire disappears. And Pastor Blake, you're back to your senses. And you see the burns on the door and the wall that's half destroyed, and you see a corpse, a burned out corpse in the vestibule. And it's like it's all happened all over again. And you see this skeleton standing there, taking notes in the air, looking down at the corpse, and looking back at you and going, oh, I see how it is. Interesting.
We should have stopped her from writing, maybe.
Well, okay. So if the flames are gone.
Yep.
I'm going to the Luxor.
Okay.
There's a lot of security there.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm taking the gun. I'm not even putting the gun away. I'm still just brandishing it in hand.
Yes.
I'm kind of counting on just walking into a camera, waving a gun in a casino, and it's just assuming that the cavalry will arrive.
So you go up to the security camera and you start waving your gun.
Uh-huh. And then I'm just going to see if I can walk onto the floor.
Okay, so the skeleton is just kind of shaking its skull. And there's no eyeballs, but as it turns the head, you can see those gaps in the skull, almost like they're looking at you. Well, now I think we've seen enough, don't you?
I could not agree more, sister.
As she says that, everything kind of goes cold and dark all around you. And you all feel so very tired. And you come to consciousness, at least Samantha, Professor C, and Pastor Blake come to consciousness, to the sound of beeping machines and the whirring of monitors and the smell of antiseptic. And you find yourselves in hospital beds, in these thin gowns with sheets pulled up around your waists. There's needles in your arms. Everything's kind of hazy and blurry. But you see there's rows, one on your side, one on the other side of these beds. And there's what looks like Lieutenant Novak, Levi, Bobby, Dr. Jimenez, and they have teams of nurses and medical staff in scrubs bending over them, frantically using the paddles, calling for epinephrine, all these different things. And then one by one, you see them pull the sheets over the faces and wheel the bed out. And you see Dr. Jimenez's hand just kind of fall limply alongside the bed as they wheel her past you out into the hallway. And Dr. Vichy is sitting in a chair at the end of the room by a window. You can see the rain falling outside. She looks her normal self. There's a panel of 3 or 4 people in very official-looking suits standing next to her, and she's talking to them in a low voice, and they're nodding. And she gets up. She comes over to the 3 of you, and she says, well, that was a little more on the rough side than I would have expected, but you have all done some wonderful, wonderful work. It's truly amazing what we've learned here today, and what you've learned about yourselves. Especially you, Professor, that breakthrough on your chant. I didn't think you were ever actually going to remember it.
Where are we? What is this? Why? Let us out of here. Doctor?
Well, don't you remember? And she looks at all 3 of you. No, I suppose the medication can muddle the mind a little bit. Well, and she looks back at the 4 official-looking people in suits, and they look at each other, and then they nod. If you remember, you signed the forms, so I suppose I can refresh your memories. And she points to a sheet of paper next to each of you on the little bedside table, and you can see your own signatures scrawled out. Samantha, yours is in a very shaky, arthritic hand. So this is a very special program, and you are, of course, at the Miskatonic, a special part of the Miskatonic, and I am Dr. Amelia Vichy. All 3 of you actually have met me before. The thing is, we have recently, over the last few years, become more aware of strange things, creatures, spells, magic, all of these things out in the world. And it's no longer enough to study them in occult tomes and things of that nature. And we can't let people who've had these experiences go running wild and spreading the madness around now, can we? It doesn't usually go well. Last time someone burned down an entire village in Serbia. And she looks a little grim. But my colleagues here were all for the idea of simply wiping memories and sending you back out into the world, but I had the thought that we could do something more holistic. And she smiles. She looks very pleased with herself. We could process the trauma, and it would do two things.
But they're dead. What about the doctor and the lieutenant?
Shush. It's all right. I thought that we could process...
I'm a professor at this university.
Yes, and I have tenure.
Shit.
Samantha just looks at her hands and goes, Jesus fucking Christ.
But I thought that by unlocking the traumas, that there were some things we could do, right? The first thing is that you could be at peace with what you saw and learn to cope with the fact that these things are real. The other thing is that we could learn about what you saw or what you learned, Professor. That chant for that vengeance spirit is quite fascinating. I've never seen anything like it, and we knew it existed. We never had anyone who actually learned the words. So we thought it would be useful, because if a traditional group therapy, you talk and maybe you describe things, but with my serum, we could actually be in your mind. And I'm just very disappointed the lieutenant didn't allow for us to see that creature of his out in the desert, a bone monster out in the Arizona desert. I was so looking forward to seeing it. But, well, with all of you, we learned something very interesting. Pastor Blake, that was quite something. I've heard of fire vampires before, but we've never actually seen one. But now we've got an idea. And you, Samantha, your child, a sweet, sweet child of yours, you know, you really shouldn't have thrown her out like that, but...
Don't you judge me, you devil bitch!
You've all been through this therapy 3 or 4 times at this point. Professor, this is your 4th go.
No.
And it took that long to break through. And Samantha, you haven't actually shown us anything. I think we need some more work. But Pastor Blake, also, this is your 3rd time, and you managed to break through quite well, although the trick with the gun. We almost didn't get what we needed from you. Good thing you're a little clumsy. That poor lieutenant, though. It was only his 1st time. I really had higher hopes for him. Bobby was on his 8th. Just couldn't take it anymore, I suppose.
Are we able to tear out from the needles?
You can try.
Yeah, I'd like to try to get out of the bed.
Okay, so give me a con roll. Anyone who's trying to stand up, give me a con roll.
I got a hard success.
No, you got an extreme.
And I had a hard success.
I failed twice, so...
Well, you're dead.
All right, shut up. I'm trying.
I'm trying.
I got 47.
Okay, so you failed by 2 points. Samantha, would you like to spend luck?
Yeah, I have luck.
You all stand up, and there's a rustle of movement from the suits in the back of the room. And Dr. Vichy just shakes her head and looks at the 3 of you and says, Now. I have an offer, as always. Since you survived, Pastor, we can wipe your memory, send you back into the world with no knowledge of anything. Or you can work with us.
Well, if it's just the same to you, I'd just as soon leave.
Oh, you can't leave without choosing something. We can't let you out with what you know.
No, I understand. You wipe my shit clean.
Wonderful.
You get me the fuck out of here.
Very well, we'll do that. Just so you're aware, Shelley filed for divorce while you were under, so...
Praise Jesus, the Lord works in mysterious ways indeed.
And the IRS may have gotten a tip about your last 8 years of filing. But have fun with that.
Oh, you let me worry about them, hon.
And she nods at an orderly, and the orderly comes up to you, and he looks a little anxious because you're a big man, but he hands you a little cup of some green liquid and says, just drink this all in one go.
Doesn't even wait for him to ask, shoots it down.
Okay, drink it down and you collapse, but everything just feels kind of pleasant and blurry. The 2 orderlies pick you up and start carrying you out of the room. I'm like, he'll be fine.
No. This is all wrong. Have you gone through IRB? This is not approved research.
Oh, but I've already gotten 3 publications just out of you, Professor. And she smiles.
This is not right.
You don't want to know what my numbers are like now.
What's your H index? Tell me the number!
98.
Jesus Christ. This is worse than I thought. How close am I to her?
You're pretty close.
I want to try to grab her, like, by the lapels.
Okay, give me a fighting brawl.
All right. I failed by too much.
Okay. You make to grab at her, like you launch yourself at her. Give me a luck roll.
God damn it. I failed that as well.
So as you go to launch, one of the suits moves slightly, and there's a bang, and you feel a sharp pain in your stomach. And you fall, and you're bleeding, and you hear Dr. Vichy saying in a scolding voice, "Now, really, Walter, we need him. We need his brain. What are you doing? Couldn't you have aimed for the kneecaps?" And then as you're blurring into unconsciousness, you hear I suppose he'll be fine. We can hook him up to a machine somewhere and get what we need.
If I'm looking up at the doctor, I want to try to blurt out the chant.
Okay. So give me your Cthulhu mythos.
Yes. Roll a 1.
Oh, God. I need, 37
7.
or less? Well, 30 with my luck, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Come on. I've had so many good ones. Oh, shit! A 9? I'd like to spend the luck.
Okay.
And if extreme does more, I'll spend it down to extreme.
Mm-hmm. So you look up at her and you're bleeding and you're falling into unconsciousness. You feel that same rage and anger building up in you that you felt in the library. Just everything that's happened, all the blood and the death, and realizing you've been through this multiple times. And also she never went through the IRB process.
Yeah, that was the worst.
And this chant just starts rolling off your tongue. And the last thing that you see is your hands reaching up, grabbing her, and pulling her arms off.
Ha ha ha.
Yes.
And so you pass out, or you are taken over. You're not sure. What you see, Samantha, is you just see as Professor C is falling to the ground and Dr. Vichy is muttering something about hooking him up to a machine. He starts chanting, and then you see his body start shifting and morphing into some kind of devil creature with horns and 8 eyes on the face and 3 long arms with talons, and start ripping Dr. Vichy apart. Sand roll, please.
Okay.
I love getting it from Samantha's perspective.
I know.
I was going to say, she started to chant, "Though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I'll feel no evil, for thou art with me."
Okay, you pass. You take... I'm going to roll a d4 instead of a d8. You lose 3 points of sand, and you pull back in the bed. And so it's over in almost the blink of an eye. Dr. Vichy is ripped to pieces, and you see the professor's body shift back into himself, and he passes out. Like, just the eyes slowly close and disappear into his face. That third arm fades away. The suits in the back, all 4 of them, Samantha, you hear them chattering to each other in a low voice. And one of them walks up to the professor and looks down at his unconscious body and goes, "Well, I don't suppose we need him anymore." And just shoots him through the head.
Oh, no. Just a technicality, Rina, but you said that Samantha started with 45 sand and had lost 5, and then she lost 3 more.
Oh, that's true. So In your bout of madness, do you have something you would like to do, or shall I roll for you?
I'm surrounded by demons. I'm in hell.
You're being pulled into hell.
Yes.
You haven't reached hell yet. There's no fire. But the thing is, you're an evangelical. You don't believe in purgatory. So that makes it even worse.
Yep.
Because you were wrong.
You were wrong.
And
how's
so,
it taste?
there's blood and death, and the professor's just been shot in the skull, and there's dead bodies. The pastor's been taken away. You don't know where he is, and there are 4 demons around you. You thought they were human, but now you can see the horns and the tails, and they're chittering at each other in some strange language.
Yeah, I think I will try to hobble away as fast as possible, leads and all.
I'm going to ask you for one more con roll. You start screaming and yelling about demons in purgatory, and those damn Catholics were right. And you failed your con roll. And so as you're stumbling away, your chest tightens and you can't breathe. And you stumble and fall, and everything's going kind of blurry. And you just hear one of the demons say, "Oh, we'll never find out where that kid is now. Damn it."
I should have been a Buddhist.
Yeah.
And that is the end of our safe space.
I died twice.
Uh-huh.
I loved that game. Thank you. That was fun.
Thank you, Rina.
That was really good.
Live long till you die. I don't care about you no more. You can go to hell and burn alive, and I won't cry at all.
It's James and Fuhad from Shits and Gigs podcast, and we're here to talk about Boost Mobile, the newest 5G network in the country.
With compelling deals for new lines, Boost Mobile makes it easy to switch today.
Boost Mobile's new network delivers customers the speed and service they'd expect from the big 3, plus groundbreaking benefits you'd only get from a true challenger in the industry.
These include letting people try the network risk-free for 30 days and offering a $25 per month unlimited plan that's guaranteed to never go up in price. They have blazing fast 5G and plans for all the latest devices. Visit your nearest Boost Mobile store and find us online at boostmobile.com.
Did you know that foreign investors are quietly funding lawsuits in American courts through a practice called third-party litigation funding? Shadowy overseas funders are paying to sue American companies in our courts, and they don't pay a dime in U.S. taxes if there is an award or settlement. They profit tax-free from our legal system, while U.S. companies are tied up in court and American families pay the price, to the tune of $5,000 a year. But there is a solution. A new proposal before Congress would close this loophole and ensure these foreign investors pay taxes, just like the actual plaintiffs have to. It's a common-sense move that discourages frivolous and abusive lawsuits and redirects resources back into American jobs, innovation, and growth. Only President Trump and congressional Republicans can deliver this win for America and hold these foreign investors accountable. Contact your lawmakers today and demand they take a stand to end foreign-funded litigation abuse.
Ever wonder what your lashes are destined for? The cards have spoken. Maybelline New York Mascara does it all. Whether you crave fully fan lashes with Lash Sensational, big, bold volume from the Colossal, a dramatic lift with Falsies Lash Lift, or natural-looking volume from Great Lash, your perfect lash future awaits. Manifest your best mascara today. Shop Maybelline New York and discover your lash destiny. Shop now at Walmart.
As the main character of your life, you know how important it is to make the right choices for you, and how sweet it is to feel good about your decisions. With the State Farm Personal Price Plan, you have options to help create an affordable price for you, so you can continue living your best life. Talk to a State Farm agent today to learn how you can choose to bundle and save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
Vacation starts with Virginia's Blue Ridge. Less than 4 hours from the DMV, Virginia's Blue Ridge is where city vibes meet mountain highs. Hike along the Appalachian Trail in the morning, sip a craft cocktail in downtown Roanoke by afternoon, and catch a sunset over Smith Mountain Lake by evening. Virginia's Blue Ridge is a place to explore, experience, and enjoy, from free museums to vibrant festivals and scenic trails. Your next adventure is closer than you think. Plan your trip now at visitvbr.com.
Thank you for listening to Ain't Slayed Nobody. For ad-free episodes, lots of bonus content, and special programming, please join our wolf pack at patreon.com/ain'tslayed, or subscribe to Ain't Slayed Nobody Plus at Apple Podcasts. Nothing helps the show more than becoming a subscriber. See our show notes for full credits, and help us grow by posting friendly reviews and spreading the word to your friends and followers. Thank you, and good luck out there.